What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. If you're new, my name is Nick and I created this channel with the goal of making personal finance and investing as simple and as easy as possible so we can all understand it and maybe it can help you on your journey as well. In today's video, we're going to go over the top 5 savings accounts right now here in Australia. So let's do it. So a couple of things we've got to clarify before we get into the top 5 accounts. And the number one thing here is the reason why interest rates are so low at the moment. Now, obviously, we all know of the situation that we're going through right now globally. Now, the economies around the world have slowed so much so that the reserve banks and the governments have looked at ways in which they can stimulate the economies. Now, one of the monetary policies that they've implemented is obviously decreasing the cash rate. Now, by decreasing the cash rate, the deposit rates and the loan rates have obviously dropped significantly. Now, the idea here is that the borrowers in the market are going to be borrowing more money, which is then going to in turn circulate more cash through the economy and therefore drive us out of the recession that we're currently in. The downside of that, though, is that the people that have deposits or the deposit holders are the ones that suffer because they're not earning the same amount of money or the same interest on their deposits as they were, a couple of years ago. So that's the reason why the interest rates are so low. It's to really stimulate the economy and drive us out of the recession that we're currently in. So the second thing is I would highly recommend for you guys to be not using these savings accounts with the sole goal of making money, because by the time you factor in inflation with these types of interest rates that you're getting, you're really not going to be making much money here at all. So at the time of filming this video, the interest rates on the best interest rate that we're going to talk about here is 3%. The current inflation rate here in Australia is 1.6%. So once you factor that in, you're really only making 1.4% interest on your money after inflation. And it's really nothing in comparison to some of the other investments that you could be using. So I'd highly recommend you using these accounts for the sole purpose of having rainy day money, emergency money stored somewhere, or if you really need access to your cash quickly, that's what you'd want to be using these types of accounts for. And the third thing, I've left out banks that offer introductory rates or new to bank customer rates. Now, if you don't know what that is, basically the banks would like you to come and join them. So what they do is they give you an introductory rate, which generally lasts between like 4 to 6 months. And after that period, those rates drop back to the base rate, which is just ridiculous. Like it's essentially nothing. So unless you're the type of person that likes to bounce around from bank to bank every 4 to 6 months, more power to you. But I guarantee you there's not many people that would want to be moving banks every 4 to 6 months to make the most of these introductory rates. So with that in mind, I've left those out of this particular video. And with that being said, let's start with account number 5 on the list. And this account is from the new online bank 86400. Now, this particular account that they have, they call it the Save account. You get 1.6% interest on the balances in that Save account. And all they ask that you do is you deposit $1,000 in either the Pay account, which is their version of a transaction account, or $1,000 directly into the Save account, which is essentially their savings account. There is $0 account keeping fee. It is a very simple and easy bank to deal with. Now, if you are very much okay with speaking to the banks on the phone and not necessarily going into the branch, these online banks are definitely something that you should consider. Now, this would be a lot higher on my list if it wasn't for the interest rate, but this, out of all of the accounts that we're going to go through, is the most simple. There's really no conditions. All you really need to do is just have $1,000 deposited into the transaction account or $1,000 deposited into the savings account. So essentially how you could use this, you just have your salary going into the transaction account and then you earn 1.6% interest on the balance that's sitting in the savings account. So pretty simple, very easy, and it's 1.6%, which is great. 86400. If you haven't heard of it, check it out. So next up on the list is the UBank USave with USpend transaction account. Now it's a bit of a handful, but with this account you get 1.65% interest on balances up to $250,000. Now you must have the transactional account linked to the savings account and have a minimum of $200 going into the You Save account. So essentially how you could make the most of this setup is you have your salary going into the transaction account, you transfer $200 into the savings account, away you go, you earn 1.65% interest on balances in that savings account. So next up on the list is the MyState Bank Bonus Saver account. Now with this one, you get 1.65% interest on balances up to $250,000. You need to make 5 eligible Visa debit card transactions on the linked account and have $20 deposited into the savings account, and you have $0 account keeping fee. So again, with this, you would have your salary going into the everyday transaction account. You just spend, as you normally would, your coffee, your petrol, your groceries, all that sort of stuff. And all you got to do is put 20 bucks into the savings account, and then you earn 1.65%. So the common theme that we're going to find here is that the banks want you as a sticky customer. Now, a sticky customer to the bank is where you have your transaction account with them, you have your savings account with them, you have any lending products with them, so credit card, personal loan, home loan, insurance products. Banks love these types of customers. So that's why they have these deals where they want you to have your transaction accounts with them, your salary going in there, and then your savings account, because they want you to stick around. They want all of your products, all of your banking products in the one space. So that's why they offer these types of deals. So don't get too comfortable and too loyal with the bank that you have. Always look out for what's out there in the market, because with online banks coming through, they are really disrupting the banking industry, and they offer some great deals. So keep an eye for what's out there, but obviously be prepared to shift all of your banking products to one specific provider to get the most out of it. So sitting at number 2 on the list is the Bank of Queensland Fast Track Starter account. Now this is age specific, so it's between the ages of 14 and 24. You can earn up to 2.5% on balances up to $10,000. With this one, again, you need to make at least 5 eligible transactions on the Day-to-Day Plus account, which is the Bank of Queensland transaction account, and have $200 credited into the savings account. And then with this one, there is no account keeping fee, but again, 2.5% interest is quite unheard of, especially during these times. Now, if you're over the age of 24, they do have a Fast Track Saver account. The interest rate on that is 1.5%. But as far as I could see, you don't need to make that minimum $200 a month deposit to earn that specific interest rate, which is pretty cool in comparison to some of the other banks out there. And of course, a $0 account keeping fee with that one as well. And sitting at number 1 on my list is the Westpac Life account. Now this one is also age specific, a little bit broader, between 18 and 29 years of age. And most of the people that watch this video are between 18 and 29. So this is going to appeal directly to you guys. So with this one, you earn 3% interest on balances up to $30,000. Now that is unheard of, 3% interest, especially during these times. So the criteria for this one is you need to make 5 eligible transactions on the linked Westpac Choice account. And all they ask is that the balance in the savings account is higher than it was at the start of the month, excluding any interest earned, of course. So there is a $0 account keeping fee. So essentially how you could use this type of account is you have the everyday transaction account or the choice account where your salary goes into, and then all you need to do is deposit at least $1 into the savings account and not withdraw anything, and then you're going to earn 3% interest on balances up to $30,000. Unheard of, the best deal that I've seen so far out on the market. So that is the top 5 savings accounts right now here in Australia. Now, a caveat that I need to mention is by the time you watch this video, some of these deals may not be available, and likewise, there might be a lot better deals out there. So before you go and pursue any one of these things, make sure you do your research and understand exactly the type of products that you are looking to get with these specific lenders. Always pays to constantly keep an eye out for what the banks are offering, because they do generally offer, like this Westpac deal, some great rates that are just head and shoulders above the rest. So make sure you understand what's out there in the market. Even if you're stuck with the bank that you're at and you're happy with the bank that you're at, always keep an eye out for what is out there, because there's always really, really good deals like this out there in the market. So that is all we have time for today's video. Appreciate you watching, stopping by the channel. Until next week, Thursday, 7 p.m., I'll catch you soon.